Everybody. Welcome to the Spiritualist Desert Church Sunday service. If you are joining us via Zoom, please be aware that we're going to keep your microphones muted throughout the duration of the service, as we are also simultaneously recording this service for our YouTube channel. If you are viewing us on YouTube and you would like an invitation to join us on Zoom, please send us an email and we'll get the numbers out to you for the Zoom. Thank you again for joining us today. We want to welcome everyone here physically on Zoom, later on YouTube, and all of those who join our fellowship from the Spirit side of life. My name is Jen Rawson, and I will be your chairperson today. I'm a board member of Spiritualist Desert Church. I co-chair the pastoral committee, and I am also an NSAC licentiate minister. Joining us today will be the Reverend Stacy Kaczynski delivering our sermon. Paula Molino will be leading us in a healing meditation. And our message medium today will also be the Reverend Stacy Kaczynski. Lynn Collier and Alice Robertson are our Zoom hosts and moderators for this morning. And if you would join me now in opening our service with an invocation. Let us pray. Infinite intelligence, we ask that our spiritual eyes be opened so that we may see the many shining stars before us. We ask that our spiritual ears be opened so that we may hear our spirit family and friends. We ask that our minds be open to understanding. We ask that wisdom be given to guide us on the path of peace and justice. Amen. Spiritualist Desert Church is a chartered member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches, headquartered in Lilydale, New York. The NSAC manual provides us with the definitions of our religion, and I would like to share these definitions of spiritualism and of being a spiritualist with you now. Spiritualism is the science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature, both on the seen and unseen sides of life, and bases its conclusions upon present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts of past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom, when sustained by reason and by results of observed facts of the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as the basis of his or her religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teaching derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we have no dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by. If you would please join me now in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. It is my great pleasure now to introduce our speaker for today, the Reverend Stacy Kopczynski from Wisconsin. Stacy is an ordained minister, certified medium, commissioned healer, and a national spiritualist teacher through our charter organization, the NSAC. She is also a trustee on the national board of the NSAC. And I hope that you will please join me in welcoming our dear friend, the Reverend Stacy Kopczynski.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for having me today. It's always a pleasure to join with just a click of a link, to join with like-minded individuals. I ask you this morning to just kind of take an inventory of how you're doing. How are things for you? How is life treating you? How are you dealing with the issues of today and looking forward to the promise of tomorrow? Spiritualism teaches us to live our religion, to be the example in which we want to live. So when you're taking this inventory of yourself, I would ask you, do you have room for growth? Do you have room for a greater awareness or understanding? Is that what you're looking for? And I think spiritualism offers us this 4 foundational walls, if you would, to your castle. And I think if you've answered yes to any of the following questions, or you will answer yes to some of the questions I'm going to ask you, these 4 foundational walls of spiritualism will help you maybe live the lifestyle in which you want and which you so desire. So I ask, how do we grow? How do we find the answers that we are looking for? How do we unite with each other? Are we ready to do the work that is needed to bring ourselves higher? And are you ready for peace, equality, and joyful living? Spiritualism, through its teachings and beliefs, gives us, again, the 4 key foundational tools to bring us to an understanding and to a higher awareness of who we truly are. The first step, or the foundational wall or key that spiritualism gives us, is that we need to be reminded, and we also need to practice, that we truly are all one. No one is separate from or left out of infinite intelligence. We need to remember that those that do not think like us, act like us, look like us, live like us, are any less separate from infinite. We were all given the exact same amount of that divine spark. It is how we live, learn, guide our focus, and treat one another that defines how brightly our lights shine. All of our lights are covered by this body, by the layers of our experiences that have shaped us, but it is also how we learn to shine our light for others. You see, for it is in this oneness that the continuity of life is proven, that we know we are eternal, that we exist forever. And we must remember that we are never alone. Just as Jennifer said in the opening prayer, let Spirit guide us. Let our eyes be open to the beautiful lights that all create the one, and our ears open to the spirit realm for their support and understanding. We all have a support system on the spirit side of life that is bigger than we could ever imagine. Taking time in your day to sit in the stillness and feel the connectivity of all, that is what will help us and remind us of the greatest love of all, the great oneness of infinite. Reminding yourself that you are a part of this great force will trigger the compassion that is needed to help change the world with your thoughts and your actions. Spend time in thought, prayer, or affirmations that your light shines bright. Ask for help, understanding, growth, and knowledge to brighten your light. And that as your light shines bright, it helps those still seeking to find their light. And when they find their light, the next person finds their light, and so on and so forth, until we have a bright, shining future, and it will help turn us all into the knowledge and to the understanding that we are one. Thus, the world we will create is absolutely one of pure love. The second foundation, the golden rule, is a defining rule for all of us to live. This might be the hardest part of this foundation. The hardest part of this rule is treating those that don't think like us, or live like us, or look like us, the way that we wish to be treated. This is what spiritualism and many religions bring to humanity as a constant reminder. Here is where the work really comes in. You see, this does not mean that we tolerate injustice in this world, but we look to the side of empathy, tolerance, and trying to understand which we cannot. That we treat those who look differently the same as we would want to be treated, for we look different to them. We need to correct actions of the past, for as spiritualists, we know that we learn and grow from past behavior. We need to treat those who are different the same, for that is where equality comes from. We need to remember that we are all the great infinite force, and when we hurt, belittle, or ignore injustice, we are doing that to ourselves. Spiritualism teaches us that we are personally responsible, not only for ourselves, but also moving humanity forward. So we must do our part. And this leads us into the third wall of the foundation in which to live, knowledge. Spiritualism teaches us the key to enlightenment is knowledge. Well, what is knowledge? The dictionary defines it as facts, informations, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Learning is the acquisition of knowledge or skill through experience, study, or by being taught. So let me ask you this question. What have you learned so far? And what are you learning today? You never want to be judged upon or based upon maybe a past action or experience in your life, but that experience also shaped you. So we need to grasp a sense of wanting, of needing, of understanding more. So what would you like to know more of? In this energy and in this environment that we live in today, we need to look to knowledge as a key ingredient to bringing peace, understanding, and love to all. You see, if all of you know what you know, and that's all you're ever going to know, You will find probably some prejudice and some unfair biases in your understanding. The lack of knowledge we know is ignorance. So why would we want to live ignorantly? Let's face it, we cannot learn anything or everything in this lifetime, but we can try really hard and put every effort into knowing more. When we apply what we learn to our living changes. When we become aware of something that we were not aware of before, our thoughts change. When our thoughts change for the better, or maybe for the worse, so does that affect our living. So what are you living? And can you learn or do more? I would assume the answer is sure we can. We all can. But the bigger question stands, will you? Are you stuck in your ways? If you are uncertain about something, make a commitment to find out more. Check multiple resources. More importantly, experience it for yourself. And if maybe you can't experience it for yourself, for the difference or for the understanding is that it is not you, then ask yourself or ask someone who can. I saw a meme I posted the other day. It was actually a human library where you could rent a person for 30 minutes, maybe one of a different race or a sexual orientation or a religion, maybe somebody homeless, maybe somebody unemployed, and actually sit and just talk to them, ask questions, try to understand the world in which they live. And don't stop by the first answer you hear. Push those boundaries. So many sayings are always, happiness is right outside your comfort zone. And with this pandemic and everything going on in our world, have we not been pushed outside of our comfort zone? So it's the perfect environment for us to learn. Process what you hear, what you've experienced it, and then turn it into your truth or your fact of life. But put behind that, for now. You see, change is inevitable, and so can truth change. For some, what was is no longer. Truth can change as we change, and change is what we must be. Now, for the fourth part of the foundational, the most probably important part, and could possibly be the funnest part, to live it. Spiritualism is considered a living religion. We are all part of this collective force. We treat others the way in which we want to be treated. We must accept new knowledge to understand and grow, and then we must now live it. No one can change you without your permission, and really, we know we can't change anybody but ourselves. So get out there and live it. To think the thoughts and receive the knowledge, but not to apply it in our daily living is super counterproductive. You see, it is through our actions that we truly create our reality. We need to actively participate in our life to make it a better life of growth, understanding, and love. So when you go about your day, learn something new, try something different, move a little more out of your comfort zone. And most importantly, be kind to yourself and to all those that cross your path. If we apply these four key fundamental teachings of spiritualism into our daily living, we will notice a change. We will be the change that we wish to see in this world. We will live a life of peace, unity, and equality. So I ask you, will you take some of these four foundational keys and apply them in your daily life? Thank you for allowing me to talk with you a little today and hopefully give you some keys to living a peaceful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Those were very timely words of wisdom. Thank you so much. This is the time in our service for our love offering and announcements. We continue to accept love donations by cash or check to the address on your screen that Lynn's just put up. In addition, we have PayPal available through our website or through the link displayed on the screen. And we want to thank you so very much for your continued support of Spiritualist Desert Church. As you are aware, our physical building is currently closed for services during this pandemic. However, our church has never closed. Our board of directors and the pastoral committee remain active, and we are available if you have need of any assistance. If you would like to talk with us or if you have any questions, please reach out to us at any of the sites listed on the screen. You can also watch the Zoom recording of this service or any of our previous Zoom recording or Zoom services going back all the way to March on the YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, search for Spiritualist Desert Church. I would also just like to take a moment to recognize and mention that we are a truly blessed community. I looked at the screen and we have 4 ordained ministers of the NSAC joining us this morning. We have Reverend Stacy, who is serving our church today. We have the Reverend Cozy Allen. We have the Reverend Vicki Holman, and we have the Reverend Lorraine Radice, all joining our service today. We are a truly blessed group of people. Next week's speaker will be the president of our board of directors, Lynn Collier, and we sure hope to see all of you again next Sunday. As we begin the healing portion of our service, we invite you to join us in a meditation led by Paula Molino. Paula is a longtime member of Spiritualist Desert Church and is a licentiate minister with the NSAC. And if you would please join me now in the prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Amen. And now Paula will lead our guided meditation.
Welcome, everyone. Reverend Stacy, thank you for that wonderful, wonderful gift that you just gave us. It was amazing. And I'm going to take those 4 keys and work with each one of them separately and joyously. I'm so excited. So everyone, today I'm going to try something a little bit different. So I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to actually feel yourself in your space. I want you to feel every piece of your body. I want you to recognize your feet and how they feel. I want you to move up to your legs, to your thighs, to your hips. I want you to relax into them. I want you to focus on your breath as you're doing this, in and out. And I want that breath to be equal and measured. Deep breath in and out. In and out. Let's keep taking an inventory of our body and feel our spine. Feel how it moves. Is it easy? Is it a little stiff? Move up through our spine, stopping in our stomach area. And do we feel any tension there? Is it tight? Keep breathing as you're moving through your body, taking inventory. In and out. Move up to your shoulders, move them around, feel any discomfort, any heaviness, and continue moving up into your head space. And now that we have come to the end of our body, and we know how our body feels, I want each of us to continue breathing with that measured breath. In and out. Now I want you to imagine the inside of your body with nothing but space. There's only space inside your body. And that space right now is dark. All of that space inside you is dark. And we're going to replace all of that dark space with bright, white, shiny, sparkly gold light. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go back to our feet. And we are going to imagine that dark energy in our feet. If there's any pain, any discomfort, any worry, any concerns, any of those things, what we're going to do today is we're going to take that energy and we're going to send it through a transmutation device. That device is going to suck up all of that dark space out of our body. It's going to go into that device, and then it's going to send into our bodies. We're going to replace that with bright, white, golden, sparkly, unicorn light. It's going to come out and back in as nothing but positivity. So what I want you to imagine is a white tornado upside down. That funnel moving in a counterclockwise motion. And it's going to suck that darkness out of us. That energy that isn't as bright and shiny as it could be. All of our worries, all of our fears. It's going to take it in through that funnel, through the transmutation center, and back into our system. So let's do that now, starting with our feet. And as you move up through your body, and imagine that beautiful white light coming back to us. Some areas might be a little bit harder for you to cleanse than others. And that's okay. If you need to spend a little bit more time on your knees, if you need to spend a little bit more time in your stomach area, if you need to spend a little bit more time in your heart, that's perfectly okay. Go at your pace and move through your body, cleansing that energy. We're going to take that energy that exists now and turn it into bright, white, golden, sparkly light within us. You should start feeling a lightness coming over you. You should start feeling health and wellness radiating through your system. You should be feeling a lifting of heaviness, a return of lightness. Any worry that you may have is now leaving. Any concerns you may feel are gone. If your health isn't completely better, that's okay, because that bright, white, golden, sparkly light is working with you. It is spirit working with you and through you to heal every aspect of who you are. We are healing our minds. We are healing our bodies. We are healing our spirit. We are moving through our system, replacing any negative thought, any poor feeling. And we're replacing that with positivity, with abundance, with love, and with joy. And as you've moved through your body and your entire body is now vibrating at a new rate, that joy, that brightness, that wonderful sparkly light has moved through you. You can actually now begin to do that in the space that you're in your home. You can move through your home with that same tornado that's moving counterclockwise upside down, that white healing tornado. And it's going to cleanse your room. It's going to cleanse the area that you're in. You can move from room to room, and you can change the energy within that room. You can change the energy within your house, within your neighborhood, within your office building. You can change that energy in your neighborhood, in your city, in your state, in your province, in your country. You can change that energy in the world. Bring yourself back to focusing on your breath. Measured breaths. In and out. In and out. You've gotten so good at this that every time you breathe in, that dark energy is moving through that transmutation chamber. And when you breathe out, that white, bright, sparkly light of spirit is coming to fill whatever space you would like. Let's take 3 more deep breaths and try to bring your awareness back to where you're sitting. Feel yourself in the chair again. Open your eyes here with us. And come back fully here in the present. Remember that you can always do this, and you can always surround yourself and others with that bright, beautiful light of spirit. Have a blessed day, and thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you very much, Paula. We continue to maintain our healing list, and we send out absent healing prayers on a daily basis. If you wish to add someone to our healing list, please send us an email request. We now move into the message portion of our service. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to vibrations from the spirit world, and through whose instrumentality, intelligences in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. A medium proves the continuity of life. Please understand that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic reads your energy. A medium brings through someone who has lived here on this earth plane. It is also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and will not and cannot diagnose or prescribe. When our message medium comes to you, the Zoom host will unmute your microphone so that you may either accept the greeting or say no thank you. This also enables you to reply to the message medium. You will be remuted after your spirit greeting is concluded. Also, please be aware that although the service is being recorded for YouTube, the message portion of the service will not be posted. As our service comes to a close, we would like to invite you to join us for a virtual fellowship where your microphones will be unmuted and we can chat together after we get through with the recording. We will conclude our service now with a benediction again. Reverend Stacy Kopczynski.
Right, good. Beautiful piece of that divine, that infinite intelligence. As we go about our life and our experience, let us take away this blessing, this time today of healing, of unity, and of love. And let us be reminded that all we need to do is look to the foundation of spiritualism to help guide us, guard us, and protect us in our daily living. Amen.
Thank you for joining us today. Please remember to include everyone who is striving to keep us safe and healthy in your prayers and meditations. And please remain on Zoom for our virtual fellowship. It's a good opportunity to give any feedback to the message medium that you might have, and it's a good opportunity to just say hi to each other. So have a wonderful Sunday and the rest of your week. Hopefully we see you again next Sunday. And now Lynn and Alice will unmute everybody.